Hello, my name is Rebecca Johor, and I'm going to be going over some of my thinking I made here in a flowchart and then later a Venn diagram. So looking up at the top, I'm going to be going over first, who are the stakeholders and right holders? As you can see in the top left corner, I've made a divide in between the two groups because I see them as two different beings. I think that an idea of stakeholder is someone who's kind of vulnerable but also powerful, and the rights of consequences of the actions. And so I believe that they have a little bit more to lose and they really have a stake in the issue at the moment. And then at the right side, I've got the right holders. These are people that typically profit off, and they also have a large stake of power in the situation. And so I believe this group definitely has a bit more opportunity for it's also rights holders is kind of more of an easternized view of how we're looking at it here, in my opinion, is that the group definitely has more legislation around supporting them, and also just in general more power, frankly. They can really put themselves in a situation to take advantage of other groups. And so, leading with that, not to sound too down, looking at the stakeholders first, the two groups I've assigned with them is the environment and the Indigenous Inuit Métis community, which I've kind of grouped into one here. Originally looking at the environment, we've got those who are... Why have I included them? Because they're directly affected by circumstances, because it is the Arctic. In the environment, we're not only looking at the lands, but we're also looking at the wildlife that are living there, the depleting substances in their life there, and just the overall, the things you see on the media, the bears, the snow, the seals in the water, and those who are directly affected by the circumstances that are going on in the Arctic. And then our other stakeholder is the Indigenous Inuit and Métis group. Why have I included them? Is because their lifestyles rely on the Arctic. These are people that have a generational history of growing up off a certain diet, and even just their ways of life, from hunting to getting up in the morning and seeing a certain mountain ridge, and even just taking advantage of the world around them. Moving over to the rights holders, we see the groups of military and government. I think along with the word rights, it comes with a lot of power into their opportunity they have in the Arctic, and also this eastern sense of control that these groups have in the Arctic. But we're also seeing, with a lot of rights, you're seeing a lot of responsibilities, and this could come really into play in the future of the sustaining the Arctic and the circumpolar world. And not only are these powerful groups who have somewhat of a dark history in the Arctic, it is an opportunity to move forward. You'll see in the flowchart, the why I listed to why these groups were included was the government. They've been given social claim over the Arctic. After looking at the division on the map, you see land divisions in between countries. You don't frequently see divisions in between Indigenous groups, even though they're the individuals that lived up there. You see governmental countries and their social claim they have over the Arctic, not only social but political, and the interactions they make with each other. Moving on to military, they kind of become the men on the land for the government, the funded protectors of the Arctic, protectors in question mark, because I would commonly refer to the Indigenous Métis and Inuits as the protectors, but these are the individuals who are walking around armored in the snow. So they have a bit of a dark past, as once I can say again, but we're moving on to a future of hopefully reconciliation and a dialogue of responsibilities with the other groups involved. Continuing on, you can see a web of my dialogue of responsibilities. These are kind of groups that affect all of the rights holders and stakeholders above, some directly more than others. That is why the Venn diagram was made as well, so I could go over which really had a hand and a stake in taking advantage in not only the environmental, the financial, the political, and the social side of sustaining the future of the Arctic and the history as well, but even just moving on to the rights of the future. And so I hope you enjoyed the beautiful thoughts I put on the paper and understand the movement of the chart. Thank you.